No, no, no. Say it ain't so. This is not how this is gonna go down. And honestly, it's insane that people are actually proposing this because of the evidence that we have in Dragon Ball Daima. Dragon Ball Daima just had its latest episode in which we find out that the barrier that was separating the demon realms is now gone, and Goku and the gang are heading straight for King Goma. We also know that there are around 6 or so episodes left of Dragon Ball Daima itself, each one about 20 minutes, and we've been getting a lot of world building, characterization, and just moving along with the story when it comes to the Dragon Ball Daima flow of things. It's pretty well paced, even the episodes that are a little bit slower, but please don't tell me that this is what people are thinking is going to happen and using evidence from Dragon Ball Z to say that this is the reason this is going to happen. So we talked extensively on this channel about Majin Duu and Majin Ku, and we get to see them a little bit in this episode, basically going to the commissary in King Goma's palace and trying to get chocolate, which is given to them by the new Ginyu Force, aka Ginyu Force. Now, the characterization that we have for both these guys is that they're pretty chill, they're basically brothers, and I mean, they aren't like the most instigating or even honestly evil type of characters. There really is no evil there to begin with, which is strange because they are created by the Cybermen who had a wicked bone in their body, as well as Kid Buu or Majin Buu's genetics. They should be a lot more evil, but that spirit does not seem to be within them whatsoever. And so that is where this is coming from, this entire conversation as to what happens at the end of Dragon Ball Daima, because they don't seem like they're very, very villainous. Now, one of my favorite theories in Dragon Ball Daima is that Majin Duu and Majin Ku are going to fuse at some point. And originally I thought that maybe Majin Duu would eat Majin Ku, sticking with the whole eating thing and the fact that, I mean, it's a Majin, but this isn't really Dragon Ball Z's Buu Saga. It's not as dark as Dragon Ball Z's Buu Saga, not even a little bit. I mean, in that saga, we saw a guy literally get blown up by Majin Buu from the inside out. That's not something that's even close to happening here. Absolutely not. So why would Majin Duu eat Majin Ku? Like, it doesn't make any sense, and honestly, the only way that I see them fusing together is if Majin Duu is able to absorb Majin Ku, but at that point, we haven't really seen any evidence besides his rubbery nature that shows that he can absorb anyone at all. All we see of him is that he's extremely bouncy, and that's about it. But this new theory, guys, it really goes deep into what could happen next, and this is not something that's new. It's been floating around since the show started, and we got to see some of these characters, but this honestly, to me, is probably the craziest thing that could possibly happen at the end of Dragon Ball Daima. So let's start with this. Why did Dr. Arinsu create Majin Duu and Majin Ku? Why did she create beings that could take down the Tamagamis? Well, she needed the Dragon Balls. For what? We don't know. Why is Gloria working for her? We don't know. Why is he getting the Dragon Balls for her? We don't know. These are things that are not known yet, but she is forming a plan. She seems to have more of a plan that formed more than this King Goma guy. Like, he doesn't really seem to have anything besides the fact that he made them into children, but no contingencies after that whatsoever. Like, he's not really thinking. But Dr. Arinsu is. She went to the same witch that basically Bibbidi did, and went there and created a creature that is similar to Majin Buu, and then create another one. These creatures are to take the Tamagamis down and the wishes down, but these Tamagamis are extremely powerful to the point where even King Goma won't attack them, won't try to take the Dragon Balls for himself. So it's fair to say at this point in time, Dr. Arinsu, if she sicked one of the Majins that she has against King Goma, I mean, it would be game over for King Goma. We don't really see him be powerful at all. All we know from him is that he is the king of the demon world. He is able to see the events of the past and the present through, like, I guess these spells, he seems to have some sort of magic. So we know by Dr. Rinsu's own words that King Goma is not to be trifled with. He is not to be underestimated. That basically her warning to Dr. Rinsu is that she should definitely take him seriously, and this is in the midst of her creating the Majins. So that is the reason that Dr. Rinsu, one of the reasons she created these guys, is because she feels like if they can take down the Tamagamis to take the Dragon Balls, which is another part of her plan, they can take down King Goma. And that is where this theory comes into play, that toward the end of Dragon Ball Daima, because Majin Duu and Majin Ku are both not really that menacing at all, and they don't seem to be bad guys, that at some point they will fuse or somehow absorb King Goma, making a brand new villain that is half Demon King, half Majin Buu, essentially, with a little bit of Cyberman, I guess, in there for good measure, which would make a very lethal type of warrior, because this is what we are crafting today. This new King Goma or King Duu would have all his magic abilities that he has just from being the king of the Majins and just being himself. He would have the intellect from Majin Ku, which Majin Ku is extremely smart, and he would have the base power of Majin Duu, if not more amplified. And on top of that, the abilities of being rubberized like Majin Duu with possible absorption, and on top of that, the Cyberman abilities that don't seem to be that crazy if you really think about it. Like, you know, there aren't that many abilities with the Cybermen, but it could be possible that this creature, this new foe, could create more smaller versions of himself, similar to how Cybermen are grown with the seeds. That's just something that I'm throwing out there. It could be a possibility like that. He could create his own army. But how would this absorption happen? Well, that's the thing. It would have to happen in a way, from the information that we have now, where Majin Duu would have to absorb King Goma in a fight. If King Goma was fighting and had him pinned down with magic, Majin Duu's only option would be to absorb him or whatever. This would be the only way that would happen. I don't see King Goma being able to fuse with these guys through magic, because he would have done that against Goku and the gang, trying to become even more powerful. And at the end of the day, I mean, King Goma isn't the most menacing character, but he is far more menacing than Majin Duu and Majin Ku. That is where this theory comes from, that it is a possibility that this could be a thing, this new fusion at the end of Dragon Ball Daima. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments.
Subscribe for more content.